Hello, my name is Ryan Antonetti.
My name is Will Morton.
My name is Noah.
My name is Brendan Casey.
My name is Aaron.
My name is Lucas.
Hello there, I am Jared Dwyer.
And I'm Evan Munroe.
And this year, we are the directors of the behind the scenes for the summer program documentary.
At the beginning of the summer program, the campers came in with little to no knowledge in filmmaking.
We have now been working alongside the counselors to teach these kids a little bit more about filmmaking.
I am most excited to learn about recording the filmmaking and the editing, because I know a little about editing, but not much.
I am most excited to learn about editing.
I'm most excited to learn editing.
Editing in Adobe Premiere Pro, because I've never gotten a chance to actually try it, because I've only used stuff like Sony Vegas and Windows Movie Maker.
I'm actually most excited to relearn all the things that I learned from last year because it's my second time doing the camp.
Well, mostly remembering many things I learned last year, but also learning new things. Like we learned a couple of new things in editing that we didn't learn last year, and it was somewhat of a new but somewhat of an old experience.
We were like both between audio and lighting. I probably have to go with audio because it's easier to learn.
I liked the audio better, because the lighting was kind of like, you touch it in the wrong spot, you're gonna get burned. First off, that happened to me. They made a mistake in the first one where it snapped back too hard and someone cut their finger. And the audio was kind of like, this does this, and that does that. Plug this in, you're fine.
It's a mix between whether I like audio or lighting better. I mean, they're both really fun and they both have their unique qualities to them. I'd probably lean towards audio more since I have some extra knowledge behind that.
Probably audio, because it's more, I know a lot more about audio than I would in lighting techniques.
Between audio and lighting, I'd have to say lighting, because there's just a bit more that can be done. I mean, you're not really in control of the audio, you're just holding a microphone to somebody. With the lighting, you actually get to create all sorts of different effects.
Everyone else said audio, and I thought Caroline was gonna kill me.
Now that the campers have gotten their fill of on-paper reading and getting used to their cameras,
It's time for the real test and getting their boots in the mud at Fedele's.
At Fedele's, I mostly enjoyed doing like the B-roll capture. I wasn't really on the interview team for most of the time. I was just running around getting B-roll and things like that. I like doing B-roll because I can get really creative shots without having to be on like a quota. I can just kind of run around and do whatever seems the best. And the most interesting B-roll that I could get was probably like extra close-ups. To say it was like a single piece of chocolate, you can get really close and get all that detail that you normally wouldn't really see. But most of our shots were really either extra close-ups or close-ups.
On the first day, I held the boom mic, and the second day, I did the camera and audio for the manager's interview. I got B-roll on both days, just around the shop, outside the shop, and like downstairs and in the kitchen.
Interviewing, because I interviewed Mr. Fedele. That was a lot of fun because he's a really nice guy and he answered all the questions honestly.
In the Pembroke location, I was the main camera when we were interviewing Ron. I was the wide shot camera. And at the Plymouth location, I had the close-up of the ice cream interview, and I also had filmed a lot of B-roll with Ben. Well, I think the coolest picture we did is that we zoomed in on like the little mirror, you know, the mirror they usually put like with cameras behind them, and then we zoomed out to make it look like the effect was really a mirror, and then we just like panned over to the right. But we got to dip them, we got to put them in like the little sugar balls. Some of them came out horrifically, like abominations, shouldn't be on this earth. Some of them came out okay. Like mine were all abominations, but like Ryan's were really good.
At Fedele's, my role was to capture B-roll footage to play over the audio of the interview.
I think the thing I enjoyed doing the most was getting all the B-roll, because there was simply so much of it, and it's nice to get a close-up of all the food and to even go behind, like, sort of, not really behind the scenes, but like how they make it and how it all came to be and stuff like that.
Let's see what it's like after the kids leave.
Well, it's almost like part 2 of our day. Especially after we've already gotten the footage and the shoot, we all sit down together and we review the footage. We talk about what looks good, what could be improved, which students have strengths and which students have weaknesses in certain areas, and then we can better build the crew up based on those strengths.
It's pretty much all of us laying on the floor because we're just so tired by the end of it. But once all the kids leave, we basically have a meeting where we talk about what happened throughout the day, start watching over the footage that they had, and then cultivate some ideas as to what we're going to do for the following day.
After the kids leave, for the staff, I'd say that it's definitely a little sigh of relief for the staff, especially after a long week like this week was, of planning everything, putting it all together. We love the kids and we love working with them, but after a nice big long day like that, it's good to get a little break.
I'm ready to drop. I'm really tired. I think I did a cartwheel when they left, not because they're bad kids, but because I'm so exhausted. It's a lot because for us, being on location is just as exciting as it is for the students. The students are excited because it's a new experience for them, but for filmmakers, which is what the staff are, being on location is the best. So we kind of have to stop ourselves from gravitating and doing it ourselves because it's so endearing. So for us, I think that's hard, and to put on kind of your teacher administrator cap and take off your filmmaker cap at the same time can be really difficult. The staff gets along really well. I mean, we've done 3 camps together now, so we kind of know what to expect from each other, so we can kind of multi-manage that way. But it's still a lot of work. I feel like I'm saying gibberish now. I'm so tired.
My favorite part of the camp was, I have to say, interviewing Mr. Fedele.
My favorite part of the entire camp would probably be when we learned how to edit in Premiere Pro.
My favorite part of the camp was when we went on location to Fedele's for the 2 days that we went.
I'm glad to agree with that. I also think that was probably my favorite part of the camp, was actually going on location, actually getting to do what we learned over the past couple of days.
So with the GoPro scene, we were going to put a GoPro through the cooling tunnel in like the chocolate, and it was supposed to look cool. Anyways, we were trying to get it through the cooling tunnel. It wouldn't fit the first time because the box was too big, so we put it in a smaller plastic box.
So we had to make a new box, so we kind of got a transparent chocolate box that was relatively small, but we put 2 covers on it. So once it got through the chocolate waterfall, it was covered in chocolate. We just took off the first lens, so then you could, see again. I had the second lens on, and then went through the cooling tunnel, which roughly took like 45 minutes.
I just want to thank you all for watching behind the scenes and for just sharing some of your time with us.
And I want to give the shout out to our mothers who had brought us here at the crack of dawn, basically in the morning, waking up, sparing their time to bring us here and taking us home. So thank you, girl.
Shout out to you, Mom. Bye, Mom.